What's up guys, welcome to HDA Forex Empire. Now in today's video we are going to look at change in market structure. That's the market changing from one trend to another trend. But before we dive into it now, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell to stay updated with every educational content I drop. See you. Now guys, we first look at the market changing from an uptrend to a downtrend. So you can see here I've drawn how an uptrend looks like on a real chart. So seeing this as an uptrend here, first of all, what we have to do is to take our trend line 2 here, trend line 2. So when we take our trend line 2 first, and we also have to identify the recent higher low. So looking at this scenario here, we notice that this point here is the recent higher low here. So we draw from that point to any point. The line must be a reasonable one. So now that we've done that, sometimes you are going to see the market doing this. So we see the market retracing, right? So when we see the market retracing, we always expect the market to retrace, then we see an impulsive move, right? So now sometimes you're not going to see the market doing that. You are sometimes going to see the market continuing downwards, then crosses this line that we've drawn here. So once the market crosses this line we've drawn here, and we see any candle closing below this particular line here, so assuming a candle has closed below this particular line here, then this a potential downtrend. So mean that the market is changing from an uptrend to a downtrend. So you are going to see it like this. You see the move that was supposed to be a retracement now closing below the recent higher low. I hope you are getting to it. It's very simple to understand, and we'll also look at real chart examples. So now that you see the move closing below this line here, or the recent higher low here, then you're going to see our downtrend continuing in that order, so creating series of lower lows and lower highs in that order. So this is how the market changes from an uptrend to a downtrend. So it's very simple. So whenever you see the move closing below the higher low, then meaning that the market is likely to change its trend. I hope you are getting it. Another scenario you normally see on your chart when the market is changing from an uptrend to a downtrend is sometimes you notice the market giving us some kind of a retracement move. So now that we've marked our recent higher low here, sometimes you notice the market giving us a retracement here. So when the market gives a retracement, then you see it giving some kind of impulsive move, but the market fails to break structure upward here. It fails to break structure upward here. Then see the market doing this. Then all of a sudden you see the market reversing downward here. So whenever you see the move breaking below the higher low, then meaning that there will be a downtrend very soon. So meaning that the trend will be changing to a downtrend. So just keep in mind that whenever the recent higher low is being broken downward, then meaning that there will be a downtrend very soon. Always keep that in mind. So it's very simple. So sometimes you are going to see something like this on your chart, then it's the downtrend continuing in that order. So it's very simple. Take a real chart example on US30 here. So now you notice that with this example, you notice that at first the market was in an uptrend over here. Notice the market was in an uptrend over here. From this point you see it's creating the uptrend here to this point here, then to this point here, then to this point here. So now if you notice something here, you notice that this point was the recent higher low in the market. This point here was the recent higher low here in the market. So like how we always do it, we always mark out the recent higher low. So this here was the recent higher low here. So now we're expecting the market to continue its uptrend. So we're expecting the market to retrace. Then we see that impulsive move in that order, but market failed to do so, and we saw market closing. We saw the move closing below the higher low. We saw the move closing below the recent higher low, which is the line down here. So market broke that line downward here. So that signifies that there will be a downtrend very soon in the market. Then we saw this, and we saw the downtrend begin. We saw the downtrend begin here. So this is a simple example on US30 in that order. So we are likely to see another retracement here, then the downtrend continues in that order. So this is a very simple example on US30. We also take another look. Now guys, looking at another real chart example on US oil here. Now we notice that the market was in an uptrend at first. So you notice this uptrend here, then the retracement, then the impulsive move up to this point here, then the retracement to this point here, then another impulsive move to this point here. So now in this case we are going to spot the recent higher low. So looking at this scenario here, the recent higher low is at this point here. So we have this as the recent higher low here, this point here. So now we notice something happening here. So we thought this was just a retracement move, then we saw this something like an impulsive move beginning over here, then all of a sudden we saw the market coming downward to close below our recent higher low here. We saw the market closing below our recent higher low here. So you notice that with this type of scenario, you see the market forming something like a head and shoulders pattern. You see the market forming something like a head and shoulders pattern. So once we saw the market closing below our recent higher low here, then we noticed that will be an uptrend coming. Then we saw that downward movement in that order. So it's very, very simple. So I'll urge you to practice more and look for more chart examples. We now move on to looking at the market changing from a downtrend to an uptrend. So now here you notice that the current trend of the market is in a downtrend. So we are looking at the market changing from a downtrend to an uptrend here. So now this is just an opposite of what we just look at. That's changing from an uptrend to a downtrend. So it's just the opposite of that. So now what we are going to do is that we first take our trend line to then mark out the recent lower high. So with this we are marking out the recent lower high. So you notice that this here is the recent lower high here. Here is the recent lower high. So now what you notice is that you sometimes see the market giving us some kind of a retracement move here, and as traders, whenever we see the retracement move beginning or moving, we are expecting an impulsive move to happen. I hope you are getting it. So now sometimes you're not going to see that happening. So sometimes you're going to see this move that is expected to be a retracement just continuous upward, then closes above the recent lower high. So you notice that the move closes above the recent lower high. That signifies that the market is changing from a downtrend to an uptrend. Then you see the market continuing with its uptrend here in that order. We also look at another scenario whereby you see the market giving us a retracement move here, then you see something like an impulsive move beginning. The market is continuing its downward move here, but you notice that price fails to break this point here downward. Then you are going to see something like this. Then all of a sudden the market going upward, then closes above our recent lower high. So I want you to just keep this in mind whenever you see the move closing above the recent lower high. Whenever it's closing above the recent lower high, then meaning that there will be a change in market structure or a change in trend. So with this scenario here, you notice the market giving us something like an inverted head and shoulders. So you see this happening, then the uptrend continues in that order. Now guys, we take a look at this real chart example here on USD JPY. So now on USD JPY, you first notice that the market was in a downtrend over here. So the market was in a downtrend over here. So what we do is that we mark out our recent lower high. So in this example here was our recent lower high here, here was our recent lower high here. So now that has been identified, now you notice the market doing what? We're expecting the market to retrace, then continue with its impulsive move, but market failed to do so, and we saw this move just closing above our recent lower high. So once it closed above our recent lower high, we knew that the market was changing to another trend, that's an uptrend. Then we saw the uptrend beginning over here in that order over here. So it's a very simple example. Now we also look at a similar example here. So now with this example here, first I always encourage my students to always zoom out their chart in order to get a clearer picture of the market structure or the trend of the market. So now you can see that I have zoomed out my charts here. I've zoomed out my charts here. So now you notice that the market was in a downtrend at first. So we saw this retracement, then this impulsive move over here. So now what you are going to notice that first we mark out our recent lower high. So you notice that our recent lower high was here. Our recent lower high was just here. So since we've marked out our recent lower high here, we have marked out our recent lower high here. You notice that we were expecting the market to give us some kind of retracement. We thought this was a retracement over here, then expecting some impulsive move, but price failed to do so. Then all of a sudden we saw price just moving upward, closing above this line here, or the recent lower high over here. So this is another scenario. So you see the market forming something like an inverted head and shoulders pattern. So let me try and zoom in my chart so that I get a clearer picture of what I'm saying. You get to see what I'm doing over here. So we first had the market in a downtrend, then we marked out our recent lower high, which is this line over here. Then we saw the market doing this. So we saw the market giving us this retracement here, then thought this was an impulsive move. So we saw the impulsive move up to this point here, but it failed to break this zone here, or this point here. Price failed to break this point here. Then we saw all of a sudden market started moving upward, closing above this line here, or our recent lower high, which signifies that the market is changing to an uptrend over here. So it's very simple, and I encourage you to practice on real charts and look at more examples. Now guys, we come to an end of our lesson, and if you find this video valuable, make sure you hit the like button. And if you have any question concerning what we've learned so far or concerning forex trading, you can do what to ask in the comment section below, and I'll do my best to answer all of your questions. Thank you. Peace.